Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Monday Night Raw, or Moon Night Raw. I, Michael Cole, with Sarah Shiver, and with Corey Graves. And today on Monday Night Raw, or Moon Night Raw, we're going to talk about someone, we're going to talk about, Sola, like Solier, or Solia, who has been unbeaten and has already beaten 3 followers of Paulie Dangerously's team. She already beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman, she already beat Austin Theory, and she already beat Brock Lesnar. And she beat both of them in a handicap match yesterday on Power and Might. You got that right, Sarah Shiver says. And sadly, Sarah Shiver says, some folks need to be unhappy about it. Knowing Paulie Dangerously, he is most likely not going to be happy about it. But at the end of the day, what's he going to do about it? He's already done his best shot, if you want to call that all his good shots, and sadly it didn't work. So, what's he going to do, Sarah Shiver says. Well, that is something we don't have the answer to, Corey Graves says. But at the end of the day, I think that Paulie Dangerously is going to have to come up, with a new answer, because so far his great wasn't great enough. And now great. Now here's Pat McAfee in the ring, and you wonder what he's going to say. I came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering last year in 2025, YL, and I was off the world. Why is it that the Toy Wrestling Gathering's been around for 31, 32, or 33 years now, but somehow, some way can still not get enough folks to watch? We got all these followers. We've been making films on this Euro Fairway since 2012, YL. But some bullshit that the SMF has beaten us. The Super Mario fan? Come on! That has to be. How can that even be a name of a toy wrestling business? The Over Mario lover. And somehow he's doing everything and he gets more folks watching his shorts, his live streams, his films instead of us. And let's talk about the leadership while we're at it. Let's talk about Astronema. The foresitter and head leadership wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering. This gotta be a stunt too. She isn't going to do anything good than would say Gabrielle, or Steve Austin, or Ric Flair, Steve Austin, or Angel, or Aladdin, or Ric Flair, Hunter Hearst Helmsley before her. We're doing the same old shit all the time. And I dare someone to come out and tell me that we're not doing the same old shit. Because we could be greater than that. We've been doing this for many years, and we can't get anyone to watch our films. This is sad. Hey, Pat, I heard you rant and bitch about how the Toy Wrestling Gathering, you said in your belief Well, that the toy wrestling gathering has lost its edge. You're saying that we should be getting a lot of looking and a lot of watching on our films, live streams, shorts, whatever. But that's not how it works. You know, we are not fighting with the other toy wrestling businesses out there. And you brought up the SMF. Yes, it's true, he does do some of the same things that we do, but somehow he just happens to do it in a way that we're not good at, and he gets more looking. He's a shower, and we're a teller. Oh, don't guilt it on that, Godzilla. You should know. You were in a toy wrestling gathering since 9 between 198 YL. You came when the good shit was still going on. Oh, you want to talk about the good shit that was going on? What, you talking about throwing matches together? You talking about all the run-ins, all the beatdowns? All the time that Vince Kimicki was going around, you know, picking fights with folks? You talking about that, that lifetime? Well, let me tell you something. You wish it was like that, Pat, but I don't think you would last that long in that kind of toy wrestling gathering. Ask anyone who's been around at that time if you want to. Ask Dennis Rodman. He's been in toy wrestling gathering. He came here in 1998 YL. Got broken in 2001 YL. Didn't come back to 20 YL though. And the owner, 1.5 owners, Xena's been here. And she came in 1999 YL, 1 year after I showed up. And you think that's what we should do, Pat? You think that if we played Stand, Heartless Might, you think that somehow, some way, that we would, somehow beat everyone? Well, I could tell you right now, Godzilla, that you lost your edge, and everyone else in the toy wrestling gathering lost their edge many years ago. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Oh, you're gonna feel that. Oh! And Pat McAfee just struck Godzilla from behind. What's all this about? Hey! What the hell does he think he's doing, beating up on Godzilla, King of the Fiends? Well, I don't know, Sarah Shiver says, but Pat McAfee somehow's gotten into his head that he thinks the before is greater than the now. You know, and this is a man who was a former football player, which became a wrestler, which became a play-by-play caller. Oh! Yeah, I think I know what I'm talking about. Well, look, Corey Graves said, I used to give Pat McAfee shit all the time, but now I truly unlook the man, because he has what it takes. Bam! He truly got what it takes, Corey Graves says. Pat McAfee truly got what it takes, you know, to do all that. Well, he may have gotten the onlook. He may have had the onlook in the NFL and the WWE, but now he's no longer has any of that onlook anymore, Michael Cole says. Well, onlook doesn't yield the bills, Corey Graves says. And I think at the end of the day, Pat McAfee is on to something. Well, Sarah Shiver says we're going to have to see if Pat McAfee is on to something, or he's just being a bully, or being a smighead, or a gimploid. A gimpdoid is what he's being. We're going to have to hear from Autolycus, the King of Thieves, the main wicker of the toy wrestling gathering, all about this. Alright, Pat. I get it. You don't like the way things are now. You don't like the way the toy wrestling gathering's been. But we're still alive. We're still here. And you can say all kinds of things, Pat. You can talk about how you believe the past is more greater than the now, Pat, if you want to. That's your own business right there. But the thing, but at the end of the day, beating up on Gojira, hitting him from behind, I don't care what lifetime it was, Pat. I don't care if it was Old Learn. I don't care if it was Golden, Gathering, New Lifetime, Stand, Heartless Might, Truth, Now, New, or New Birth. I could care less what lifetime we're in. You can't do that. You know what? Here is the thing. I can do what I want, Autolycus, because at the end of the day, the past, the before, was more good than the now. Alright, Pat, time for you to put your gout where your mouth is, because here today on Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Raw, you're going to go one-on-one with Gojira, the king of the Fiends. And now, Michael Cole says Pat McAfee has opened up a can of worms that he can't close. He may have been a great football player in the NFL, and he did wrestle on and off when he was on WWE, on NXT, and then on SmackDown, and then on Raw. But I hardly doubt that when he has to fight the King of the Fiends lair to lair, I hardly doubt that Pat McAfee is going to win. Alright, Pat McAfee says, where are you at, Gojira, King of the Fiends? Autolycus seems to think that will frighten me. It will teach me onlook for the now, or the soon to come. But all it's going to do, well, looks like Gojira got ready, and he just took it to Pat McAfee, Michael Cole says, who shifted heel, who, believe it or not, in WWE now, is now a heel, and he is now either an overseer or underling or something to Randy Orton. That's what's going on in WWE. But right now, Gojira striking down, stomping a mud hole in Pat McAfee and walking dry, Michael Cole says. Oh yeah, now Gojira now, he's pissed off. He wants to get even for that slight, being hit from behind with a Irwin toy doll stand to the rear, Sarah Shiver says. Well, Corey Graves says, if Pat McAfee wins this, he'll be showing everyone that Stan and Heartless Might were greater than all the other lifetimes before and after. And Gojira's getting ready. Oh, Pat McAfee punching him and knocked him down. Pat McAfee with a DDT. Pat McAfee, who somehow, someway has gone into his head that he believes that the why we're not getting enough watching on our films is because we're not doing the same things we did in the before, Michael Cole says. Corey Graves says if Pat McAfee wins Michael and Sarah, he'll be showing everyone that he has the truth. Look, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He did it. That's how he won all those football games in the NFL. Well, him and his team won it, Corey Graves says. We'll see. Michael Cole said if he does it here, 1, 2, and a kick out. And Pat McAfee can't understand how a punt could work on a football field, but why it didn't work in a wrestling ring. Oh, it didn't work in a wrestling ring, though. Pat McAfee coming back again. He thinks Godzilla's tail's caught. Godzilla got him. Stunner! Pat McAfee just went down to the Godzilla stunner, Michael Cole says. Yes, Sarah Shiver says, the King of the Fiends is going to beat Pat McAfee here today on Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Raw. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, Godzilla. Even though Pat McAfee did not win the match, so I guess in your belief, Michael Cole, I guess in your belief, Corey Graves, that means that he can't back up all the things that he said, Michael Cole says. No, I guess he cannot, Sarah Shiver said. If you go off and tell someone your belief that the Heartless, that Stan and Heartless Mike were more good than every other lifetime before or after it, and then you end up losing the match to someone who was from that time, that's kind of sad. Well, believe it or not, you know, we're gonna take it away. Well, Corey Graves says Pat McAfee is still the man in my book. Alright, take it away, Mike Lane. Thank you, Michael Cole and Sarah Shiver. I'm going to be talking with Pat McAfee. So, Pat McAfee, it seems to me that you have a belief that the before was greater than the now. Oh, let me tell you something, Mike Lane. It is true. And yes, I lost to Godzilla, but Godzilla should be teaming up with me. He shouldn't be against me. Autolycus should be teaming up with me. He shouldn't be against me. Ah, fuck, stand up. You know what? A lot of folks should be standing with me, not against me. So you're saying, Mike Lane says, that they should have some kind of NWO, Ace and AIDS, Nexus-like team? Well, what I'm saying is, Mike Lane, is that if we were doing all the same things we were doing now, we did back then a lot more folks would be watching our films, our live streams, our shorts. But no, we don't. And since we don't do it, we don't get the same looking, the same watching. So you believe by striking Godzilla from behind, Pat, was going to get us all the looking and watching that you said we weren't getting since 2012, YL? Yeah, that's my belief. That's my belief. That before was greater. Well, that's all the time we got here. You know, alright. Oh, shit! Come on. There. There. Alright. Alright, that was my talk with Pat McAfee. Back to you, Michael Cole and Sarah Shiver. Well, thank you, Mike Lane, for talking with Pat McAfee here today on Monday Night Raw. And that's all the time we got it for Monday Night Raw, or Moon Night Raw. I, Michael Cole, with Sarah Shiver and Corey Graves, we hope you like Monday Night Raw, or Moon Night Raw, and we'll see you tomorrow for NXT.